So, in my last video I talked about the correlation between your own vibration, your own frequency, and the inability of the coronavirus to dock onto your energetic system. And interestingly, yesterday night I watched the live stream of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and what I found really amazing is that the last year they showed some studies about exactly that thing. For those of you that haven't seen my last video, the information I shared with you was from a QHHT session. That is from a hypnosis session where people in deep trance get informations from their own higher self, from their own superconsciousness. And the information was that coronavirus can only correlate, can only get into a union with your body and your energetic system when your frequency matches the virus frequencies, which is mainly when you are in a low frequency. And a low frequency usually is considered to be the frequency of stress-related emotions like fear, anxiety, also sorrow. All these kinds of frequencies are more dense frequencies, more lower vibrations. Therefore, when you stay for quite a long time in such a lower vibration, then you should really take care of not catching any kind of virus as well as diseases, For the vibrational reason for a disease is, or if you see it on the energetical vibrational level, is that the body is just not vibrating in this normal high state anymore, and therefore you get, the organs and the blood vessels and the nervous system gets much more easily affected for disease, for malfunction, for dysfunctional, any kind of dysfunctions in the body. And the superconsciousness of one of the QHHT clients said that as long you keep your frequency high, and this you can do by, for example, meditating, for example, listening to your QHHT sessions when you had one. Ground yourself, walk in nature, sing, make music. These are all ways to keep your frequency, your vibration high. And when you have a high vibration, you will feel gratitude. You will feel love in your heart. You will feel connected with everyone around you, and you will not fear, or you have much less fear, you can say, even though the information you get from your environment might be scary. And for that reason, some people even don't listen to the radio stations anymore, or do not watch the news, because they believe that the messages, that the information we get over these common channels, or over the mainstream media, is just not absolutely correct, and might be even, manipulated to create fearful response, fearful reactions in the viewer's mind and body. And yeah, so to prevent that, some people I know, and me, including me, don't watch the news. At least not as much as I used to watch the news. And I really, every time I switch on the TV and it happens to be a news channel, I really always get, especially the last year or so, I get really severe doubts about how true the information is we get. And many wise people have talked about this. Like, for example, I just recently watched Escape the Matrix. It was a very good documentary where David Icke explained his own approach to inner growth and transformation, and as well as the insights, shared with us the insights he had about this reality we live in, and how it is formed, how we develop opinions, how we develop also vibrational states, and how you can get free, how you can become free of these vibrations that surround you. And I think it's very important to keep in mind that you have always have a choice. And even when nearly everyone around you is saying these informations are the truth, or whatever they say, whatever you see on TV, or even close friends might be in fear at the moment, and I can truly understand that, because it is a fearful situation, because we don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know how this all will develop, and everyone is just guessing, and I believe, and I also heard that from other beautiful people, that it's a time to learn to trust. And for myself, what I do is, I really do meditate every day. I really tune in as often as I can, especially when I feel that anxiety is coming up. I just tune in, close my eyes, or I just start breathing deeper, so that I can first calm down my thoughts, quiet my mind, and then I really, it's really, I'm really grateful for that, because since actually I think 1 year or something, it's so much more easy to very quickly get out of fear, whatever happens, and I think that's a matter of practice, because we cannot control life in the way we would like to. We cannot control life. We cannot control death. We cannot control what awaits us in the next months. But what we can do is, nourish that part of us that is strong, and that is our heart. All the strength and the strength to stand on your both feet, and even when the winds blow strong, and the information you get is very bad, and everything seems to be I'm looking for the word. Everything seems to be changing very rapidly. Even in these times, once you connect with your heart, then you will feel that you are not alone. You will feel gratitude, and you will feel eventually that you are protected and you are safe. And to get back to where I started, why I am talking about this, and why I think it is so important that you all never forget that your inner truth is the only truth you have, your inner wisdom, And this is your heart's wisdom. That is where you have to find your answers, not outside. You have to look inside yourself. So the reason why I think this is very important is that just a few days ago, a very good friend's mother, she died. She was very old, so it was her time to go. She had a very beautiful life. She was always very strong in her health, very strong in her mind. And the last days of her life, she was brought to hospital because she had fallen down, and she was brought to hospital. And one could feel like her life was getting weaker, and also she had decided that it was her time to leave. So we all prayed for her to leave peacefully, and we all hoped this would be like we just all prayed for her. And as it is now, she was tested every day for COVID, and she was tested negative every day. And the only one who could come and visit her was her son, my friend. And he also was tested when going to her every day, and everyone was under strict regulations, so everything was okay in terms of COVID. And interestingly, on the day she died, on the last day of her life, shortly before she died, she was diagnosed with COVID, and as a consequence of that, her son, after her death, was not allowed to see her, was not allowed to touch her, he was allowed to get in the room, but he had to wrap himself in plastic and 2 gloves, one over the other. And the really strange thing was he had to wear like a plastic cover and like a mask. These masks they wear, like they look like divers. And on the back side, this thing was open. So I believe that the virus does not come from the backside, I don't know. So he had to cover himself, then go to his mother, say goodbye, wrapped in plastic, not allowed to touch her. Then in that room he had to uncover, leave that plastic stuff in a bin, and then go out. And then, and since then she was put in a plastic bag, and on the death certificate it says death caused by COVID-19. And this is really, really a lie. And then he talked to the doctor, to the doctors there. He was a nice guy, I have to say, and he didn't know what to say. What I heard was, I think he was quite ashamed. He said they found, it seems that they found like less than 5%, a very, very low percentage of corona viruses in her suddenly, because she was tested negative, as I said, the days before. So on the last day, finally they had found some viruses, very, very few, but this was absolutely not the reason for her death. She was not dying from corona. She was just old. She had lung failure and heart failure, but it was not a corona death. And because now she was diagnosed and reported as a corona death, one cannot see her. She cannot have a respectful funeral. We have to wait until March for her to be burned. One cannot go and be with her when she gets burned. In German it's called crematorium. I don't know if it's the same word in English. And it's ridiculous. And it's what, if you heard of Dr. Judy Mikovits on that movie that was also deleted from YouTube called Plandemic, she was talking about that last year, that doctors and hospitals get money for diagnosing COVID patients. They get quite a lot of money, And at the same time, the deaths caused by coronavirus increase, and then therefore they find reasons to for us to put us under quarantine and to put us under really strange regulations that for me don't have any they don't make sense. And again, I'm not against being aware of the virus, and I believe that there is a virus. I'm sure that there is a virus, and I also believe that virus is dangerous. I'm not talking about that. I'm just asking, why do doctors, why do hospitals support that? This was a lie. And when I think about my friend not being able to say goodbye to his mom wrapped in plastic, this really makes me angry. And after this, I heard another story similar to that a patient's also son, where the patient died from something totally, she was not diagnosed, or he was not diagnosed with COVID at all, but he was asked if it would be possible to write corona death on the death certificate to support the hospital, because they just revealed to that patient's son that they would get money for how do you say, get money for writing on the death certificate that it was caused by COVID-19. And they just asked, with no shame. And I know that most people just believe the information they get. So every week it seems, that's what they tell us on the news, that corona's deaths are increasing and increasing and increasing, although we all stay home, we all are careful, we all don't get too close to each other, we wash our hands. In my case, I do meditate and stuff like that. So I think, I personally think, if we all would meditate, we would all do the best thing to grow over the virus, to learn to become immune. But that's a different story. But what I'm saying is, we all are careful, and it is not fair to be bombarded by misinformation. It's just not fair, especially when there are people or elderly people that just believe what is said on the news, and just get more scared, and get fears, and have fear of dying alone. And these are really strange times. So so to get back to where I started, I believe that there are many, many things one can do besides the things they are telling us. There are many things you can do, and the main and the most important thing I think that is necessary to be done at the moment is to take care of your inner state of being, to take care of your heart, and to be aware of whatever comes into your system, to not get affected or infected by fearful thoughts, fearful information. And whenever you feel, fear coming up, which is normal, I have that sometimes, many times during the day. But whenever I feel that, I just pause. Something I learned. I had to discipline myself to learn that, to pause and to look inside, and breathe deeper. Breathing is a very major key for letting go unwanted reactions in the body, unwanted or harmful reactions. Breathe deep. Sit down for a moment, close your eyes, connect with your inner guidance system, connect with God, connect with angels, connect with your spirit guides. And if you don't know how to connect with them, then I would suggest for you to have a QHHT session. This is one beautiful way to get in contact with your guidance. And in my case, I had done years and years of meditation before my first QHHT session, and I had a very powerful spiritual teacher. And although I had so much spiritual work done, and I had lots of beautiful meditations and insights, and I had seen the spiritual realms, and you could see like many things that could prove to me the existence of the spirit world. Although all this had happened, after my first QHHT session, I felt like a huge door opened to me, a huge door to information and clarity, and also wisdom, which I now really can use mainly for myself, because I believe it's important to find your own answers. It's really important to believe your own heart and your own wisdom, because you're the only one who really knows what you need, or your inner being knows what you need. And only if you don't know where to find your inner being, then it's useful to get some help. And then try out some beautiful meditations that there are online, or try out a QHHT session. It's really beautiful, and it's worth it, because you really can get so much out of that. And what I will do next, in my next video, I decided to do a heart meditation, especially in regards to what I saw yesterday night with the live stream of Dr. Joe Dispenza, where they had done some research, and they found scientific proof of the correlation between a strong heart, a heart that vibrates in gratitude and love, and the immunity to viruses and bacteria. And also, for example, Wim Hof, the Iceman, had found the same. He had agreed to be infected with bacteria. And I think also, if I'm not really, I'm quite sure that he also tested himself with COVID. So he willingly was infected with bacteria, and only by breathing and believing, that's what he says, he was not harmed by the infection. And that is exactly what Joe Dispenza and his science team found out and proved. And I hope they will publish these studies so that you all can see the proof for that. He could prove that people that meditate regularly were not harmed by viruses and were not harmed by bacteria, and this could be proven by by their blood. They tested the blood of many people, and they all showed the same thing. And and because of that, I think my next video will be a heart meditation where you can connect with your vibration in your heart, and from there, raise the vibration of your body and heal your body, and stay in a state of gratitude and love, and because of that, be safe and be protected from whatever wants to invade into your body. Because it's not only the coronavirus, there are many other things that might invade and could invade, and so I think it's a beautiful idea to just put on your wings and learn to fly. And I'm grateful that you tuned in to my video and you tuned into my channel, and thank you for the new subscribers to my channel, and I hope to see you all very soon. I wish you a wonderful day today, a wonderful time, and I hope to see you all very soon. Bye bye.